Yeah. Hey y'all. How y'all doing? What's up? This is a moment. This is a moment. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to have this microphone in my hand. I'm in my nice comfy chair and although I don't have everything planned out, right here in this moment I am happy. This brings me peace. Um I just want to say thank you to everybody that is listening. Um, I'm so grateful that you gave me some of your time. This is what I truly love to do. I love to talk. Anybody who knows me will know 100% sure I love to talk. I've been told I just like to talk to hear myself talk. And that used to offend me until I understood my assignment. You feel me? Shout out to shout out to knowing your assignment. So I'm just so happy that I finally have enough courage to do this because it's been a very long back and forth battle with myself for the past 5 years and probably longer than that. And I knew it was what I needed to do when it got to the point that I couldn't eat, sleep, drink, think, walk, carry out daily tasks without thinking about me and a microphone, me and a pen. I love to write. I love to talk. I love to inspire. So that's what I'm here to do. I want you to understand one thing about my channel. I don't operate out of judgment. I am never here to judge anybody. I am not better than anybody. But what I am going to do is share my stories and things that I've experienced, heard about, went through, whatever logic that I have going on in my mind, and just share it to whomever listens and who finds this, and hope that it inspires you to be your true and authentic self and go after all the milestones and goals you desire that God has placed in your heart. And we just take this thing a day at a time. We're just going to take this thing a day at a time. So, with that being said, this is for not only my Black girls, not only my single mothers, but for people who have went through enough and have decided to change and to grow, like really full on commit to that, because that's the space and stage I am right now in my life. And I would really want it to be a never ending phase. I don't kind of want to go to any other phase besides the one where I continue to grow and learn and do it with, peace, I should say. And so if you're listening to this, talk to me. Talk to me. I want to talk back. In the description, you'll see an email address where you can email the show and I will read it and just give you my pure authentic thought on it. I don't really suggest that you put your name in it, because everybody's in different phases, and I don't want to um have other people be able to identify you. I want you to be able to protect your peace. So you don't ever have to worry about me saying a name. I think it'd be cool if you gave yourself a nickname. Like, I think that would be so dope. But anyways, yeah, write me emails. I have a PO box soon if you want to write letters. I think letters are cute, but I prefer an email. And I'll have a time when we talk about it and when we discuss. And I feel like that's only fair because I'm going to share things with you guys about myself. And I want you to be able to talk to me in the comments and, give me some food for thought. Um, and we just learn from each other, and this just be a place for, us to share stories and to learn from each other and grow. I'm at a real critical place in my life where I have to do what makes me happy and I have to stay focused on that. And I'm just looking for my tribe, because I know like this this show and also this book that I'm working on, I might lose some friendships. I might lose some connections and some relationships. The people that I love and care about the most might not even turn this on ever. Right? And it's not no problem because do some manifesting right now. I know that being called to this, it's going to work out for me in my favor. It is. And the plans that I have to bless and empathize and guide comes from the Most High. And so, however or whatever I have to go through to get there, like, as long as I keep, my focus on God and what He has for me and being pure at heart about all of this, I don't see it ever going wrong and being a waste of my time. I've tried a lot of things and all these different types of schemes to get rich, and yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. So I'm just being myself. And it's no shade to nobody else because podcasting is probably not for everybody, or not even probably, it's not for everybody. Talking is not for everybody if you're genuinely not a talker. I am a talker. You're going to learn I am a talker. So like this is for me, but I just want to do what's for me and grow this thing. I want to grow this thing. I can't wait till the day that I can, build a set and employ people and build, a team and go on tour. Like, I look forward to that. Genuinely, I look forward to that. So, um, thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Remember that email is inside my description. Um, Socials that I have right now are inside that description. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Get near, get near, cause it's about to get real. I was about to say ratchet, but and it might be ratchet sometimes. But yeah, tell a friend to tune in. Tune in. Thank you guys again, and let's go up. Okay, so I'm just gonna hop right into it. So, what's been on my mind this week? We have I'm in this group of women. I'm a part of this group of women. It's real small. It's only I think about five of us, and we read the Bible together and we discuss, stories and things of such or whatever. And I'm so grateful for them. Shout out to y'all because I just relocated from the north suburbs of Chicago, and I'm now in Tucson, and I don't have I don't have any friends here. And within like a month of being here, I met a girl at my job who this woman was literally God sent, and she's blessed my life in more than one way. But one of the ways is that I have been, I've welcomed into this group. We kind of just spontaneously created because it's really just a group of women kind of all going through the same thing in different ways and forms and fashions and different age groups, and um, of course, different stories and perspectives. And it's so welcoming to have other people around me that are on the same journey as I am and kind of understand where I'm coming from, because a lot of the sadness that I feel sometimes, or loneliness I feel sometimes, is that I'm just misunderstood or no one gets me. So to be around some people that understand me and at least try to, and each other's, it's been good. So what we're reading about, we started off with the book of Esther, and yeah, if you don't know or you're not familiar with that story, tune in, read it. it's a good one, and I'd love to hear y'all interpretation. Put in the comments how you felt about it after you read it, or if you've already read it. Let me know what your interpretation of it was. But in a short snap, it was about a woman who was a queen, and her husband, the king, summoned her to show off her beauty to everyone, and she did not come. And in that time, that was very disrespectful as a queen to not answer what her husband wanted of her, no matter what, those requests were. And immediately, he basically had her replaced. And it was Esther who ended up being replaced by her. And Esther not only benefited from becoming, of course, a queen and being crowned number one amongst all these women who were trying to be with him, she also was able to bless her family and her village. And a person who, her cousin who took care of her as her father, and really just bring a lot of people into a better situation from her position. Real touching story. And in the midst of our discussion, it got to a point where one of the older ladies in the group asked us if we were. No, first she asked us what does our king look like, and that kind of took me back a little bit, because I mean, I had always thought about what I wanted this person to look like and what I wanted this guy to be, but never really wrote it down. And she put emphasis on write this down. And so you can have all these thoughts in your head, but when it comes to like writing something on paper, like you want to be really certain and considerate, because these are prayers, or these are manifestations. So you have to be careful. So I took some time and I wrote it down, and the list came to about 20 things that I wanted in a man. And the whole time I was battling, like, okay, this list is getting pretty long. Like, I'm never going to find you one. Okay. But the spirit spoke to me and just told me, be direct in what you're asking for. You're never asking God for too much. Let's start there, right? You're not ever asking him for too much. So I wrote down the list of what I wanted, and I realized that never had I ever dated anyone with all of those things. And it doesn't mean that these were not good guys or they didn't have pure intentions. I just never wrote these down, so I didn't really know what I was ever looking for. And when you don't really know, I guess for me, what I was looking for, it made it easy to settle for other things when you start to think you're asking for too much. And you settle for way less when you don't even know what you want. Like, you might compromise on one or two, but without a real list, you probably compromise. I compromised probably 17 of those things that I said I wanted. So it was like a real full circle moment to come to see, like, okay, what I'm wanting and expecting, like, I don't even give these type of people my time. I probably have never met someone with all these things, but more importantly, like, I give people my time that don't have all these things. And I found myself in many positions of just having to walk away from those things and feeling like a failure, or it was a failure, and what was that for? But it was in preparation of this moment, because the next question she asked, if you were to get all those things in a guy, are you ready today, right now in this moment, are you ready today to be that to him? Are you ready to honor that and really welcome that in? And that question right there really took me back, because I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. I will definitely put myself in a position to think that it's them and not me. And we can say all day it's both of us. Of course, of course, of course. But how many times do you actually like take responsibility for your own actions? Because at some point in time, you have to be real with yourself and be like, it's not everybody, it's me too. And it's not to say people don't do wrong and they don't have their faults, but like asking myself, well, if this wasn't there and this wasn't there, why did I let it go there? That's real. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'm asking for something I'm not even ready for. And that I that it did something to me because then I realized like I'm spending all this time moping about, a relationship that did not work or this man that I cannot find. I'm so impatient with it that I'm ready to settle for, just going out here and there with men or, just chilling and doing X, Y, and Z and all of that. And that is only going to leave me even more behind and empty when that's all over with, too. Been there, done that, right? I'm about to be 30. So, been there, done that. What can I do differently this time so that if I were to join the dating world again, like, how can I assure that it's going to be different? And she highlighted the part of the story where Queen Esther went through a period of preparation and just getting ready for, who her king or this king. And the king's helper told all the women that, they could choose anything they'd like to wear, how they wanted their hair dressed. Like they had a full-on glam service, and whatever you think you needed to bring to offer him to make you set out amongst the rest, let me know and it's yours. And so all these women picked all these different things and dressed all these different ways. And it was the queen who, the one who got chosen, Esther, she was the one that did not take anything more than what the helper had already done. He had given her, some of these oils, and he had primped and primed her in a natural way. And when it came her time to add on these things, she chose nothing but a necklace, just a simple necklace. And women came to this man, I'm talking about in jewels, dresses, revealing, not revealing. Like these women really went all out to make themselves be presentable or, choosable. And it was the one who went in there herself with not much at all that ended up outshining them all, right? And so that really, did something for me because it was like, how many times have I went into a relationship like an interview and, tried to put my best foot forward and present as if I'm not human. I guess it is the best word for me to describe it. To convince someone to love me, convince someone that I am worthy of their love and attention. And I think that's why when it goes wrong, it beats me up so much because I feel like I invested so much of something I wasn't with nothing to show for it. And that's exactly why it didn't work at all, because you can only keep up with that for so long, right? And then when someone starts to see the other parts of you that probably aren't so glamorous, they leave. And you can't blame them because we do the same thing, or eventually we have to when we avoid it. So that really came into perspective for me. And I was able to really come to the conclusion that as lonely as I am, or I feel, or how I might consider my worth not being of value because I don't have a significant other at this age and I'm not getting started on a family or building a family with this person, like, I'm seeing all around me and everywhere. I'm truly just not ready for what that brings. And it's not simple. It's not simple little things at all, because I'm such a lover girl. I'm such a lover girl. It is like a blessing and a curse. So I will like serve, seriously, serve like laundry, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm uplifting, motivating, being thoughtful, picking up on social cues, learning body language, asking hard questions. Like I am trying to be the full on partner, and I'll do it so much and not even realize I'm not getting that in return. And I'll keep telling myself like it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, because we've always had ourselves. It's always just been me and me. We don't really need that from people, right? But that's a lie. That's a lie. It's a lie. But I get so obsessed with trying to give someone everything they're looking for and choose and validate my worth, that's the same energy and time that I could be giving myself so that I know that. And the reward from that, there isn't a loss in that race. Like the reward in that is my self-worth raises, like my confidence raises, my boundaries get stronger. That's all a win-win. So instead of like repeating a cycle that I've already grown out of, like why not try something new? So I was like, okay, I got to enter a period of preparation, which through that, I've been praying more. I've been, looking for more ways to be grateful than not. Really watching and being mindful and thoughtful of the things that I say and the things that I think and consume and listen to. And that's a battle within itself too. But I'm always reminded of how hard the work is trying to convince someone to love you. Like that's hard work that never ends well. It never ends well. I've bumped my head a few times to know that it never ever ends well. So bringing it all full circle, part of me starting this is being on my preparation journey. How can I be what I want to attract? And if I want a person that has goals for themselves and sets them and is self-aware and emotionally mature and always, seeking the best version of themselves, I have to be that so that I can attract that. For real, I have to be that because if I'm doing that and I'm always working on it won't be easy for me to be around someone that's not doing that. But if I'm slacking or I'm avoiding, being with someone who else is slacking and avoiding is gonna go right over my head. I'm not gonna realize that like I'm wasting my time because I'm wasting my own time. So how am I gonna be mad at somebody else for wasting it? They can clearly see I'm wasting it. Because I came in talking about, oh, I do this, I'm working on this, I got this going on. And then they spend a week around me and it's like, this girl ain't said one prayer. This girl ain't opened no book, ain't picked up a single pen, but she a writer. This don't make any sense to me whatsoever. Okay, so she just talking, right? She just talking. Cool. So we're not gonna take this serious then, cause that's literally what it going. They might not say that word for word in their head, but like that's how it goes. Cause we do it too. I did it too. Like I've seen a guy tell me like, oh, I do this, I do that, I got this going on, and then from simple conversation for a month straight, you text me all around the clock. When you at the gym? I done been to the gym. It's way too hard to do squats and text. That's just entirely too much. You like, do you ever go to the gym? No, okay. Oh, you be okay. So you don't, so you start to really like realize like, okay. And then the more you see that they're not who they say they are, the looser the boundaries become. And you start to play with them, they play with you, and before you know it, y'all in a game. It's a bad trap. It's such a bad trap. And in order to get out of it, you got to be real with yourself. You just really got to be real with yourself. And again, it's not going to happen overnight, because there's still moments for myself where I fall short and I will try to entertain someone or something out of boredom. It's really out of boredom or loneliness. And I'm learning how to use that time to either pray or to listen to some positive music or pick up one of my hobbies, this microphone, or go sit in front of my laptop and add some more onto my book. Like, fill that time up and that feeling with something that makes you feel better. Because whatever I was thinking about before I picked up my microphone, by the time I'm done, it's either A, out of my mind, or B, so small that I'm just like, oh, I was tripping over that 2 hours ago. All right, bet. Next. So now it gives me a little more momentum, right? To push forward and do something else and just stay away from those draining habits. Because I got some draining habits. So yeah, so I encourage, men or women. This is not even just for women too. Like, this, I don't want to say especially for my man, but just us for real as humans. Like, you gotta really ask yourself why you doing something and be honest though. And be honest. Because wasting your own time is far worse than wasting someone else's. It's not polite to waste someone else's, but it's really doesn't do you a service to waste your own. But also understand that, like, when you get that time and that alone time, it's not a time to sulk or to be in denial or to waste and fill it up with other things. Like, for instance, like, okay, so I remember when there was a relationship that was ending for me, and I was ending a chapter in my life, and instead of walking into solitude and seeking my higher self and what it is and that I really wanted for my next phase and chapter, I just kind of willy-nillied around. Like, anytime I was alone, I'd be calling my friends or I'd be calling my family to talk to them. And sometimes we have things to talk about, sometimes we really don't. And I'm just blowing hot air. We just on the phone with each other, doing dishes. I done fed the child 2 times, gave him a bath, like, and we're just breathing or gossiping or whatever the case is. And then it got to when I wasn't doing that, I'd be looking for my next outfit, scrolling and scrolling on Fashion Nova, trying to find whatever it was I was going to wear the upcoming weekend or in 2 weeks to the next party. And, it just never stopped with the things that I was filling my time with. And all I was left out, like, after those conversations for so long, I would feel so drained. Like, it wasn't a releasing conversation. The conversation was always so heavy. And it's not so much of them, it's just the topic in general. It's a waste of time. So I would feel so exhausted. Like, I've sat here and talked for so long and got nothing out of that besides losing fresh air, fresh fresh breath. Like, I didn't get nothing from that. It didn't make me feel better. It wasn't the release I was looking for. Going out to the club and doing all of that wasn't the release I was looking for. And I'm not saying there's a problem with going out. I love a good, celebration. But, like, I want to go out when I got something to celebrate, because that just feels so much better when I'm turned up for a reason instead of, like, turned up because I'm avoiding some pain. Like, that sucks. Because what happens is me, like, tequila shorty, I'm going to take it down. Okay? I'm going to take the tequila so far down that before you know it, somebody need to take me home. Right? Somebody need to take me home, because I ain't safe for myself. And I got too old for that. It was just like, what? We can't be leaving our car here. We can't be getting in Ubers going home and, like, costing and spending money to get back to this car for no reason. Like, it's crazy. This is crazy. Nobody had the decency to drop me out. Like, this is crazy. So I filled it up with all of that. And all it did was, like, bring me to a even deeper place of emptiness and just, like, what now? Like, I've drank all I can drink. I've smoked all I can smoke. Like, I've just did everything. And I'm still lonely. I still don't know. I still don't feel certain on anything that like makes me happy or that I can do for enjoyment. Like, I don't understand. And it was in that I had to start asking God, like, please, open up to me. Like, allow me to see things the way you see things, because this life is just way too confusing. And before I get to a place where I contemplate ending life and all of that, because I've been there before, I want to make sure that I always go to God to avoid something like that, because life is really beautiful. To wake up when some others didn't is a blessing. Seriously. And then to wake up when some others didn't and have peace is an even bigger blessing. Right? So I had to seek that. And in that, I learned that like being alone is a blessing. Like the queen being alone in that moment was a blessing for her. Like all the women had to have some time alone, but she truly embraced it. She thought through what she wanted and really came to the conclusion to just be herself and understand that like what God has for her is going to always be for her. She don't got to do too much. And even though she could look around and see like so and so looks better than me, so and so dresses better than me, so and so's body is better than mine, so and so has more money, so and so comes from this type of family. Like there's so many different things that she could have looked around and said, but it was just like, you know what? Instead of stressing over everything I don't got, I'm just gonna go and be myself, and he either gonna like it or he gonna love it. Whichever one. I'm cool either way. I'm hoping he like it. But I'm just gonna go be myself. And it ended up working out for her. And from there, she not only received such that blessing, but she also was in a position to help her family and pay homage to someone in a place that helped her grow up into the woman she was when she lost her parents. And it's so many like blessings within that story. So many acts of God within that story. Like we like to be sad over what we don't have and have no idea what we are going to walk into. We don't have any idea whatsoever what God has already planned out to us. But if we can follow and listen to what he said and have faith that what's yours is going to be yours, it's already taken care of. And here you are thinking that, or here she was thinking that she was just going to be a wife and be taken care of. The blessing overflowed into her having the ability to bless her family and to take a whole village that was in bondage out of that. And like you can relate that to life now. Like we like to set our mind and our goals on things. Like even with this show that I'm trying to create, like to say that, oh, I just want, to be able to be free from a 9 to 5. I can't even let that really come out of my mouth and really be in my thought because I know God. For me to think that all this is going to do is replace my 9 to 5 is so shallow of my faith when he's already showed me so much. So when I'm sitting here scared and not knowing where to start and trying to look for so many catchy, eye-popping topics, like being myself is really all I can be. That's all I can be if I'm really truly trusting his path and what he's asking me to do. I can't keep refining a plan that is already perfect, right? But also that solitude, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for her to go through. It wasn't easy to be alone, but she stayed focused on the goal at hand, So just me understanding that this alone time is for me to realize some things and shed some old ways and shed some ways of thinking and some connections to people, because I have no idea who I'm about to walk into. No idea what I'm about to walk into. I have no idea what this show is going to do for me or the people listening. But I'm going to stay focused on my intent and what I'm being called to do, and let the rest play out. And so I'm not going to let this go too much more further, but I challenge y'all to think about what it is you really want. Even bigger than a relationship, think about what it is that you really want in your life, whether that be a partner, finances, career, other relationships, spiritually, whatever it is that you want for yourself, that those things, not these fleshly materialistic desires, like the things that keep you up at night, the things that constantly come back to your head, the things that you can't deny that are always there poking at your conscience. Like, think about what it is that you truly want to do and talk to God about it. Really talk to God about it, and ask for him to prepare you in a way to receive it. Don't just ask him for it, because like me, I've gotten things that I've asked for and fumbled them because I didn't know what to do with them and I wasn't ready. I'm rejoicing in like this big blessing that I received, but never acknowledged that I didn't even prepare for any of this, and this is about to fumble. I'm in a place where if something come to me that I wasn't, expecting, or not expecting, but I wasn't prepared for, I about don't even really want to pick it up. I don't even want to touch it, because what is you doing here? Is you a trick? Is you a trap? Like, what is this? I don't got time for nothing to set me back again. I can't do it. I literally cannot do it. I don't want to do it, because I like the unknown without God is too much for little old me. It is too much. So ask him to prepare you for what you're about to walk into, and sit and listen and be patient. And in moments where you feel impatient, talk to him. And God, what's going on? It's been 3 weeks. It's been a month. What's going on? And sit quiet long enough until you hear him. Don't answer your own question. I feel like when you get so deep into your prayer and your conversations with God, you begin to hear what his voice is versus your own. And you can really only hear that when you spend time with yourself, so you know what you sound like. Because if you be honest with yourself, I know what I sound like. If I answer a question for myself, I know it's going to be in arrogance. I know it's going to be in arrogance. I know it's going to be rooted in impatientness. Like, I am so impatient and so dang arrogant, and don't have a reason to be. But that's just me in a way that I'm unlearning. So when I hear something that's not rooted in like God and inspiring and being helpful and being selfish, that ain't my voice. He usually always says things to me that always make me, You said, do what? For real. Like, hold on. I know I asked for a man, but I ain't asked to be by myself for 6 months. I ain't asked to be alone. I didn't ask to move across the country alone in order to get him. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said I needed a man. I didn't say I needed to be by myself. But you got to trust the process. You have to literally trust the process. And the journey of me just spiritually cleaning that old mess off of me is so freeing, because when you sit down with another person, male or female, and they ask you, sometimes people ask you like, why your last relationship didn't work, what went on, what happened. And when you really listen to people, you could tell right on they hurt. And when a person hurt, run. You ain't got to be mean or disrespectful about it. Be honest, for real, because it might free them. But run, because we all know hurt people hurt people. And all you about to do is play Russian roulette on when it's going to happen to you. Because you ain't the only one that's going to be connected to this person that's going to get hurt. You just waiting for your turn. You feel me? So you got to really listen to what people say. When people get to talking about their old situation, and they can be so kind, because that was me. Like, I want to let this person know, but I don't want this person to feel like I'm bitter. So I'm the whole time trying to tell what I got to say, but I'm wrestling with my real words, because I really want to say, something that ain't right, you know? I really want to say some real mean and evil and hurtful things. But instead, I'm trying to dress it up. Well, they just really wasn't honest. Well, they just couldn't they just couldn't pick me. Like I tried everything I could and I just wasn't enough. Like you don't understand, all those statements just show how bad you're hurting the way you speak about it. Because when you can get to a point and be like, I was a different person then than I am now, and I don't even really want to too much talk about that because it's kind of pointless at this point, you in a good place. For real. And a person listening to that, they might feel a little down because you didn't let them into that. But a real person has been through something, they're gonna be able to respect it. Because who wanna sit and talk about some negative, some hurt? All I do is weigh you down, put a damper on the time. When you sitting there talking with people and y'all having a good moment and somebody walk in with an attitude and the whole energy just shift. Like nobody want no bad energy or no bad conversation when you riding on like a real good high. And it's not to say nobody else is hurting, but like don't nobody want to hear that. For real. And if you can find somebody who welcomes that in and wants to sit and talk with you, you better know they hurt too. And y'all about to be two miserable people enjoying each other's company because that's all y'all about to do is exchange the hurt amongst one another. It's going to go from talking about I hate my ex's club or I hate my old job club or whatever club. It's going to go from that to I hate you and I hate this and nothing. Like, and that is so much to deal with. You pouring more hurt on top of hurt. And then you wonder why you so empty. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it here for real. I say all this because I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself and telling myself what it is that I need to hear. I'm telling myself the things that I wish someone could have told me, or I would have had something to tune in and listen to in some of these dark moments. Because just to be understood in a world where everyone pretends as if nothing hurts them and they're okay is not fun. It's not fun. So many people relate to each other on so many different levels. But because we are so embarrassed and ashamed and lying to ourselves about the decisions we make and the experiences we have, we miss the opportunity to connect and to learn from each other. Yet, we'll point fingers at people for doing the very things that we did. We'll point fingers at the fact that they are not getting it right. And that does so much damage to each other more than what we are really being aware of. So, ending on that note, let me know how you felt after reading that story, after you read that story, what you took away from it. Or just share with me, moments where you had to prepare for something or you avoided something to prepare for. You avoided that preparation. You ran away from some solitude. You didn't see it as a gift when in actuality it was. Again, inside the comments, inside of the description box, you'll find our email address. Write me your letters if you want to be featured on the show. You want me to talk about something that you have going on, or you just want to share in relation to something. Do that. Follow me on all socials. Subscribe. Share my page. And until next time, talk to you guys soon.